Just got to eat it in the microphone for ASMR. Just Reese's Pieces brownie cake. I can hear you getting fatter.
You can hear the diabetes.
I recorded all that. Hey guys, what's going on here? River Sullivan back at you yet again here with another episode of This Evening Tonight. And with me again, for like the fourth time, my friend and hetero life mate, Martin.
How's it going, everyone?
So,
I'm back.
yes, he is. Hey, did that issue at your house get fixed out or figured out or figured? Or...
Yeah, it's part of owning a house. Just stuff breaks for no reason.
Yeah, I'm slowly learning that myself. So today, on This Evening Night, we are going to be talking about a couple issues here, mainly dealing with the fallout of Death Stranding.
Have you played it yet?
I have. Have you played it?
I have not. I've been waiting on you to tell me what you think, because I heard so many mixed reviews. And then, I love Kojima. You know, he's Daddy Hideo, you know.
Daddy.
But he came out saying something in between the lines of, well, you know, Americans don't understand the game because they like the first-person shooters better.
Okay, so actually, I have the interview pulled up.
Okay.
But first, I'm going to tell you what I think of this thing so far.
Okay.
I actually don't know if I'd go as far as to call it a game.
Okay.
Some people call it a walking simulator. I'm calling this something, it's just an experience for me right now. I'm only 5, maybe 6 hours in.
Now, is it a good experience?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like everybody that's been asking me is like, what do you think of it? And I just go, I don't know. Well, when I did mention in our first episode where we were talking about, I was like, oh, it'll be Fetch Quest, the sandbox adventure.
That's what it is?
That's kind of what it is. Now, everybody else that I've talked to that's gotten along in it further than me was like, look, there's story there. There's more. There's so much more. But it's like 20 hours into the game out of like the 75 to 100 plus hour game that it is. Which, okay, so you're a courier, and just like we kind of hypothesized, you have to take cargo from point A to point B. But there's a lot more stuff that goes into effect than I thought. Like there's not just that he has to pee thing. That is actually part of it.
I saw that you have to take care of like your boots because they...
Yes, your boots will wear out, and you have to like print, like you have like massive 3D printers or something that you can unlock more boots to print. So you sacrifice resources to get your boots, and they run out. Now the terrain, in terms of how you tackle the terrain, is actually some of the most realistic I've ever seen. Not even to how the terrain looks.
Like, can you trip? Like if you see a rock, can you trip?
Yeah, you can trip. If you don't brace yourself right, if you don't balance the load on your character's body, you can trip. And lose the cargo. Now, there's things called timefall events, which a timefall is pretty much rain, but when the rain falls, like his suit makes a little beep, 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 and like this hoodie kind of automatically deploys. Looks like a nice just rain suit, but it's got an automated hood to it, which, okay. When you're carrying cargo, that rain, known as the timefall, causes things to degrade. Like it makes your packages, like the casing on it, will age. So it starts.
But how does that affect the gameplay? Like I get things get old, but...
like I had to go from one base and drop off some stuff for a power generator. Okay, and it was about 2,000 meters away. It's a pretty good distance. On top of it, I had to go through this dense forest, and to get to the forest, I had to climb this gigantic ass mountain. Now there are things where other players have done things, like I've left ladders deployed in certain areas and just left it, and other players that are playing the game will come along and use it.
Okay. So now why do you think it's not, or why do you think you're debating whether it's a game or not?
Well, here's the thing. It's an exercise right now for me in solitude. The only two things that I felt in this game has been solitude and fear.
Of what?
Okay, so I'm making that package run, okay? Going up the mountain, I get to the woods, and I'm like, it's just... Like anytime like those BTs or whatever, I don't know if they travel or if I'm doing something that's triggering them. I don't know. But I walk through the woods and you get like a little split second of slow motion. And there's like this, and I'm like, it happens a couple more times. And then like this little arm thing with the sonars just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
automatically deploys and you're like, oh shit. And you close down and like when I say close down, like I'm crouched down and you're pinging and these things are everywhere.
Because you're helpless, pretty much.
You're helpless. I mean, I come to find out that when you go back to your private room or your little quarters and you take your character to the bathroom, going number 1 and number 2, you do it enough times and it replenishes you with grenades.
Oh.
Because apparently the scientists, I can't remember his name, they're extracting your stuff out of your urine and your feces to create grenades.
Your bodily fluids.
Your bodily fluids are being reused. And it like, it's pretty funny because like he took a leak and it was like, you receive 4 number 1 grenades. They call it the number 1. And then you take a Duke enough times and it gives you the number 2 grenade. I'm like, what really? Like, you're just going to have to throw it at BTs and find out what it does. And it kind of makes them go away.
I mean, I would run away too. If there's a crazy guy carrying a baby on his chest, throwing poop everywhere, I would run away. I don't care how bad of a monster I am.
The BTs, man, like that's the thing. Like I throw it and they kind of wiggle, and I don't honestly know what it's doing to them. Okay, I ran out of those grenades in that forest, and those things were everywhere. There must have been close to a dozen of them. And that little arm thing, it pings worse. And I mean, they are right on top of me. You got to crouch and hold R1 to hold your breath. So it makes you more silent, and your stamina meter goes down, and then it places strain on your BB, the baby.
Yes.
And then the kids started getting upset while I'm trying to move through this rainstorm, BTs, foggy as hell, dense forest. The baby's crying. I'm running out of breath, and they are all around me. And like the screen starts shaking, and he's just like, and I'm there just jaw wide open, pale faced. My girlfriend's looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, they're going to get me. They're going to get me because the fear is when they get you, it creates a void out. You die and you have to follow your thread back to life. But that area, I guess, will be a crater.
Now, can other players see that where you died or no?
Probably not.
Okay.
I have not died, knock on wood, yet. I thought like the whole time I was going through, I'm like, this is it. Oh, I'm screwed. I thought I was done.
Okay. See, now you're describing all this. And to me, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Now, see, I mean, I'm getting worked up over it because I'm like, that's awesome.
So what you're saying is you don't have a lot of this moments in the game.
Now, it's not that it's not enough of it. I'm afraid that that's all that it's going to be for like those first 20 hours is walking along, making your delivery. You might trigger some BTs. You might not. And then you worry about your stamina, and like it's definitely a very slow, deliberately paced game.
Okay, well,
like the FPS lover in me wants to be like, hurry up and get to the next objective, get there, But this is like, just slow down, enjoy it. And I'm trying to enjoy it. Honestly, I am. Like it has its moments here so far for me that it's those just like the little things, the little subtle realisms and the little extra mechanisms that I'm like, I like this.
Now, I'm sure you heard that Kojima said he wanted to make movies. Pretty soon, I guess. I don't know if you heard of that or not.
I mean, if he's going to make a movie, then it's probably going to be a 17-hour movie.
Yeah, I have no doubt. But are you able to see the influence of that thought? Like he wants to make movies now. Are you able to see that in that game? Is that what it looks like?
So far from what I've seen, yes. It cuts to these kind of semi-obscure camera angles when you're out making a run. And nothing's happening, and then music just kicks in. Like he makes the whole thing a very cinematic experience, and by the whole thing, I mean like the first 5-6 hours I've played. Like, am I still going to play it? Yes. Like, I definitely want to keep playing it. But yeah, real quick into that news article you were talking about came from the interview. So the original Kojima review, apparently it had to get an update because some people were saying that there was a translation issue.
Yeah.
So the first one was. And this is Hideo, says, I must say that the game received rave reviews, especially in Europe and Japan. Here in the United States, however, we have had strong criticisms. Perhaps it is a difficult game to understand for a certain type of critic and audience. Americans are great fans of first-person shooters, and Death Stranding isn't one. It flies higher. I always try to create new things and disputes and discussions are fine, but it must be said that the Italians or the French have a different artistic sensibility that allows them to appreciate this kind of very original product, not only in video games, but also in cinema.
Now, okay, so that sounds horrible, but he's kind of right.
Yeah, some people were saying that the translation came from the flies higher thing. Whether it was, when I first read this, I was like, yeah, in his head, he probably does believe that it flies higher. And to be honest, I didn't go into this game going, man, it's not like Call of Duty, man. It's not like this. I'm going, this is his first true thing that he's done by himself.
Right.
And the whole time, like, that's where I still don't know how I feel about it, that I continue to want to play it to figure it out. And I refuse to go online, read spoilers. I'm not watching any LPs on it from any other YouTubers or anything like that. I'm trying to find it for myself to discern an appreciation for it and understand what it is that he had the vision for. And if I can figure it out, if I can't figure it out, okay, whatever. It gave me something to do for 75 plus hours.
Right. Here's my take on this. I mean, you have this guy. We all know he's a genius. There's no doubt about that. And he makes something that we all have great expectations of this thing being amazing. And the way I see it is the game came out and it's good, but it's not amazing. And by being just good, people just tend to see it as, oh, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, because it's not familiar to them in any way, shape, or form.
And it is true that here in the Western audiences, every time we see something that comes from Japan, I mean, and I say Japan because that's pretty much the most radical, difference that we have when it comes to like anime and, the type of stuff they eat. Everything's so different from us. And the things we like, the movies we like, everything's so dramatic. I can see to where he had that thought of, American audiences are a little different when it comes to artistic takes, and that's true, and there's nothing wrong about that.
Yeah,
we like big cars and action. That's who we are, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
and Italian people, I can see them liking more like architecture and music and stuff like that. But I don't know, or it could be his game just plain sucks, and he just don't want to admit it. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. There was a saying where Hideo was talking about how us Americans, like, we loved and raved about, like, we loved our FPSs. But when you go to Metacritic, the top, 20 games for 2019 and 2018, not one of them was a first-person shooter.
Right.
Not one. And here's the thing, too. Like, I've heard people talk about that, but then when you read into actually look at the list, out of the 20, 10 to about 15 of them are Japanese titles.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Like, a lot of it was Capcom, like your Resident Evils and stuff like that, and Final Fantasies. But, like, Monster Hunter was on there. I remember seeing it. It was, 8.
Such a good game.
I can't remember what the number 1 was on the top of my head. I think it was a third-person action-adventure game, something like that.
Was it God of War?
No,
Red
but
Dead?
it was up. Yeah, it was Red Dead. Red Dead 2 was up there. That's not an FPS. I mean, there is an FPS mode.
Yeah. But here's the thing with that, though. I mean, that's the second game in this franchise, so people already knew what's coming. That's the thing with this game, though. Nobody knew exactly what this game is, and still I don't even know what this game's about. So I think that's one of the problems too. Like the whenever it was advertised, it wasn't really, there was not enough information for people to know. Because if he would have been like, hey, this is what the game is about, you're basically a delivery man. I'm sure people would have been like, oh, okay, I get it, and see it differently. But I'm sure a lot of people were expecting the next Metal Gear,
There's definitely some things that he took out of Metal Gear that I noticed in that. The abstract cinematography.
The UI. I've seen the UI, and it looks very similar.
The general feel of it feels like I was playing like MGS 4 or 5. When he crouched, I don't know what it is, just like the basic animation for that crouch walk, I just keep
that's
thinking
got to hurt
old
your back,
Snake.
dude.
Oh, yeah, and especially like when you're carrying like 200 kilos on you.
My goodness.
But I did just pull up Metacritic here on Death Stranding, and it's still like the Metascore from all your reviewers, 86 critics, and they're giving it an 83, which there was the first review done by IGN, and that guy gave it like 61 or 63 or something like that. But then what happened was he was attacked by the community before the game had even come out.
So
But now the user score, and this is out of 9,000 currently right now, 9,694 ratings. It's getting a 6.5. It's the number 25 best-selling PS4 game of 2019.
wait, 6.5 is not very good.
No, it's not. It's more honest. Because here's the thing, though. The market is also saturated. Almost 10,000 people right now giving it a review. And it's still a lot of those people out there that it's your broad consumer base. A lot of people liking your FPS adventures and things that are already out there. Like, a lot of people are saying it, and I'm tending to lean towards agreeing on it. He's creating, this is a new genre.
Right.
It doesn't fit to any of the other cookie cutter ones, which is why, in my opinion, a lot of people that are taking the time, because it's labeled as action, as an action game, which it's not. But then there's also, they added one that's an action/general, just a general purpose game. But still right now, as of today too, it is the number one most discussed PS4 game of 2019. I mean, we're seeing
absolutely.
Proof is in the pudding right here. Like, we're dedicating time right now to sit here and talk about this.
Absolutely. But
this is definitely one game too that I liked, that I appreciate for this factor that it's had outside of here. Like, it's not just people in the close circle of friends. Like, this is going all over the internet, and people are still hypothesizing about what else is there. Like, I mean, just like for me, not reading the spoilers. Like, I'm not reading any spoilers. I don't know what lies ahead of me. I'm steering away from that because I want to experience this fresh.
Yes.
And if I had time, I'd actually like live stream it or something, but not gonna. Like, I want this to be an experience for me. I don't want a chat to be there I don't want to say get in the way of it, but it would take my attention away from the experience.
You want to fully immerse into
there's that immersion. And like I said, it's solitude and fear is two of the most predominant things that I felt in it. And like, don't get me wrong, you get a little bored, but it's just like going on a road trip. You're just like, oh God, are we there yet? Oh, we got to go all the way. Like
now, let me ask you, how immersive do you feel whenever you're taking this medicine or whatever packages you're taking to this destination in the game? How do you feel like you're actually being the guy taking that? Do you feel a sense of urgency?
I feel the traveling, like the journey. Okay. I'm immersed in the journey. I get immersed when like the time falls happen and I see my stuff degrading. You know, I see my cargo deteriorating.
Yes.
And that makes me feel that urgency because I'm like, I'm about to travel all this way and I might lose this stuff. I need to hurry up. And then you try to hurry up and then you might wander into some BTs and you got to forcefully go slow while it's raining, while your stuff's deteriorating, and you're still trying to hurry up and not get killed and not cause a void out all at the same time. The immersion to me is broken when I reach the destination. Because it's the same
repetitive
thing. Well, it's like there's like a little barrier and then a computer voice is like scanning, weapons detected, which I'm like, I don't have any weapons, but okay. It says weapons detected. And then it lowers its little barriers. Oh, you can't use your weapons for this. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's just like a generic computer thing. If that was just like a base or an installation, that's a generalized AI, I would be on board with that. But where it's truly broken to me is where I get there to turn on my cargo, you activate this little terminal, and it's a hologram of a dude. Like, you don't get to see, I have not.
And you don't interact with anybody
I don't interact with anyone. It's just through those holograms. Because as soon as you get done with that, there's like another guy that might want to talk to you, maybe even a third person wants to talk to you. And that's it. But yet when I'm walking around, I can hit the touchpad and he'll call out. And he's like, hello! You know, he'll call out. I don't know if that has a purpose. I don't know if that's just an extra mechanic, like the P button. I don't know. And that's not me crapping on this game right now. That's just how I'm feeling. Like I said, 5-6 hours into it, which in terms of that game's lifespan and or its playing, like I'm still fresh into it. I'm a third of the way into where it's supposed to get interesting.
Moving on, I've been playing Modern Warfare.
Yes, you have that on disc, or you did digitally download it?
Digitally downloaded, yes, on PC.
Oh.
Yes.
It's eating up your PC, isn't it?
Not really. Not really.
Because I heard some people telling me like they had to have their stuff cranked all the way down because it's very intensive.
Well, not the problem. Because I thought, I mean, my PC setup is pretty robust. It's a beast.
Yeah.
And I always, every single game that I get, all the way up, all the settings, ultra, you know what I mean? This one, same thing. I even had like, ray tracing on, everything was on. And the very first cutscene, 5 seconds into the cutscene, it started lagging, going down.
That lag is not a computer issue. That's
I
a
know.
general. That's just
I
a
know.
general issue.
I know, and I didn't realize that
A lot of people are having that, I heard.
because again, I don't like to look up spoilers or anything. I don't like to look up anything for that game. So I just wanted to, like you are with Death Stranding. I just want to jump in
Mhm.
and just experience it myself. So I thought it was my computer. I was like, whoa, this is the first time that my computer has been, you know what I mean,
A little laggy.
having a little hiccup. Let me turn this down a little bit. Nope. It kept doing it. And
Kept doing it,
yeah,
yeah.
it was still doing it. Then I realized it wasn't my computer, and I ended up fixing it. But the game still looks amazing, and the gameplay, at least in the campaign, you have some sections to where it's not really that immersive. You're literally just shooting. It's just like any other shooter game,
Yeah.
but it completely changes once you go into the nighttime mode or night vision mode. And let me tell you, it's one of the best.
I've seen some footage on one of the night vision missions in like a house or something like
Yes,
that.
it is intense. I don't want to spoil it, but
I heard about the woman.
well, yeah, that's just one of
the woman, you know.
Yes.
Oh God, help me!
Oh, it's first of all, you go into this house and you know what I mean, you're trying to be stealthy about it. So
Mhm.
everybody's with silencers and everybody's like doing hand signals and being quiet, whispering. And you walk into this room and like you're it's like a 4-story building, and then, well, more like a house. And you're going with your team up the steps, and you're just crammed in there. Like there's not enough room for you to move.
Yeah, I've seen the footage. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels so good. And this is one of the very first times that I played a shooter game, to where the game is asking you to think before you actually pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And you only have a split second to do it. And it puts you in the perspective of the military people when they go and do this operations. People think it's just going in there, shoot everything, and come out.
Mhm.
I mean, you have civilians in there, you have kids in there.
Yeah.
It's not just, aim and shoot. You have to know what you're hitting, who you're shooting. It's just, you have to identify your target, all this stuff. And the game puts you into those shoes, or it's trying to, because you've never been able to be in those shoes.
Yeah.
And it's very intense. And the section only lasts maybe 10 minutes,
Yeah.
the whole mission. But at the very end of it, you are completely exhausted. I was out of breath. I had to take a break. I was like, whoa. And it made me appreciate the military people way more.
When I was in the military, we had to do these shoot no shoot scenarios. Like we had a machine that they called it the FATS machine.
Yes.
I can't remember what it stood for, but it was pretty much like an interactive kind of video game thing. You stood there and you had your duty belt on and everything, and we had pneumatic powered or like air powered 9mm and M4s and stuff like that. So it would simulate, like there'd be a video playing of a situation, and you could draw your gun and shoot, and it would react realistically.
Okay.
And like that's how they would train a lot of us for the shoot no shoot scenarios, to learn to read human body language and stuff like that. But
And you have to do all of this half a second, maybe less than that. Because if you take too long, you're gonna get shot in the face. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. But yeah, this game is that section was amazing. And then you can take your time too. Whenever you're getting ready to go into a room, you can peek through the door and make sure, check your corners and all this stuff. But when action happens, you just have to do it.
yeah,
And there's no time to think. And the game's not gonna restart if you just shoot a civilian. It's just, you have to live with that. Like, oh, you just shot somebody in the face and they were innocent. And that's
so it doesn't penalize you like the games. You'd be like, oh, you shot a civilian, game over.
No, at least not that section. No. Then there's another one. Again, I don't want to spoil that much, but you have to go through a hospital. And
that's another nighttime mission?
No, this is a regular.
Okay, don't spoil it for me, because I do want to play this game.
Okay.
I'm probably going to wait till it goes on sale, because I don't care about the multiplayer. I like a good story.
Well, you know what? The multiplayer, I used to be a big Call of Duty fan, but I'm talking about whenever Modern Warfare 4 came out, you know what I mean? Before Black Ops.
Yeah.
To me, Black Ops ruined the whole Call of Duty, but a lot of people will disagree.
To me, a bunch of the 8-year-olds ruined Call of Duty
for
me,
that
talking
too, but
all that crap.
But I used to play it a lot, and this multiplayer feels like it needs a lot of work, but it's very close to what it used to be.
A lot of people said it was pretty polished. Like the levels were pretty drab.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest issue is the time to kill. It's very fast, and I don't know if it's my reaction time. I'm getting a little bit old now, but
Well, I've heard it's a camper's paradise.
well, yes,
Because here's the thing: the difference between people like you and I that have like day jobs, we actually have to go out and
yes.
earn money to buy these games. We don't have the time like a lot of the children's online daycare players. I call them the 6 and 8 year olds playing COD. They got time. They got time to sit there and Google and like run around the maps and learn all the little nooks and crannies, all the little hiding places. For like blue collar gamers like us, we just want to go out or go into the game and just sit down and enjoy it and have a good time.
It's difficult if you don't sit and play for a couple hours a day. You're not gonna kill anything because it's immediate. I mean, as soon as they see you, you're dead.
Yeah, that's why I stay away from games like Fortnite and Overwatch, and what was the PUBG? Like I don't have the time.
Yeah, but let me say this: once you start getting good, once you start hitting this learning curve, you enjoy the game. It's very enjoyable, and I know they've been listening to the community and fixing some issues, nerfing a couple guns that were extremely overpowered. But there's this mode that it's my favorite one so far, Ground War, and it feels very close to Battlefield.
Oh yeah, I have seen some footage of that. Like they got vehicles in there and everything.
Yes, again, it's Camper's Paradise, but it slows down the game a little bit more, and it is more. It is more.
Because that's what 32v32 on there.
I think so. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's the fact that you have crossplay, so that's awesome. But there is a slight disadvantage when you're playing against PC and gamepad. It's just you're gonna have more precision with the PC, but the gamepad has this auto aim feature
for multiplayer.
Yes.
It's like a borderline aimbot.
That every single FPS has that if you're playing on the PlayStation or Xbox. That's how it is.
Did not know that.
Yeah. But it takes longer for them to turn around and shoot you, whereas if you're playing on the PC, it's just a little flick of the wrist with your mouse and you're already turned around.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ups and downs, but yeah, it's a pretty good game. But
look, when I first got into PC gaming, when I was like doing that LP of Fear 3, the sensitivity of the mouse, like, yeah, it's definitely second to none. Like the gamepad is all right. Like you play enough with it, and there's usually that little snap aim that we do. But yeah, like it's phenomenal how
very precise.
Yeah, precision.
Yes. Going back to the what we're talking about, the military people, like the way they have just a split second to think and make actions. That is I guess that's a new thing that we've developed. By having wars and being human beings, I guess. Because think about this: back in the day, you had time to think about it. And I'm talking like thousands of years ago. There was no. I mean, I'm guessing
you're talking like before firearms.
Oh yeah, there was no stealthy go into this house and kill a lot of people. I mean, you're talking about go in with this to this tent or around this campsite and just club some people in the head while they're sleeping. But you know what I mean? There was no pressure of this kid's if he's running at me with a gun or stuff like that. I guess more of the Vikings didn't have that. They just killed everything in their path.
Vikings, you say? Well, have you ever been enjoying any of the History Channel show Vikings?
You know what? Yes, I started that show, and it kind of pisses me off.
How far have you made it?
I'm in the 4th season right now. Season 4. Yeah. Yes.
Where's Ragnar?
He is back home, and he left his brother Rollo in with the Franks.
Oh.
And now he's got a wife. Okay. Yeah. And he decided he's just going to do whatever he wants.
It gets good.
I know. I have no doubt.
I don't want to spoil it.
I have no doubt.
It gets good, and it's you think you're mad now.
Well, here's and I'm going to go into a little bit of spoilers here. My biggest issue with this show is Athelstan. He's my number one problem with this show.
You don't like Athelstan?
I'm going to tell you why. And this is spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Skip ahead. I'll put on the next conversation. We'll flash that on the screen so you guys know how far to skip to.
Okay, so Athelstan. Whenever he dies, whenever he gets killed by Floki, first of all, before that, everyone is in love with this guy. The skinny, weak, Christian dude.
Oh, he was pretty shredded, man. Like
he was pretty shredded. Like I was watching it with my girl, and there was this scene where I think he was in the shower.
There was a scene where Floki kills him, and he's like,
yeah, I was
like, whoa, after
dude,
been hitting Planet Fitness there.
I was like, whoa. Anyways, before all this, everyone is in love with it. Everyone has this. They're amazed by this guy. The King Ekbar is his name.
Egbert.
Egbert, yeah. He's like fascinated by Athelstan. Like, oh, tell me more about the Romans, Athelstan. And then you have Ragnar, which to me, that's I don't. And look, this show is. I understand it's based in real life. It's not accurate, of course, because we're never going to know exactly what happened.
I think they actually tried to remain historically accurate for the first season.
Well,
and then they went, "This is doing really good," and then the history execs were like, "Sexy it up, boys."
Yeah. To me, everything was going fine until Leif died, and I think this is the first season or second season. Leif is the guy that apparently discovered Vinland, which is Northern America, Canada, and all that. So, you know what I mean? And this was before they even explored America as a whole. So that makes no sense. Leif should have been the guy discovering before. This was before.
Have you noticed something else, too, in that show?
What?
The women do not age. In that show, all the men get older.
Yeah. But
the women don't age.
Yeah, you're right.
At all.
The stress, man. All the war, all the battling. But so Athelstan. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ragnar he's mistreating, not mistreating, but he's ignoring more of his comrades for this guy, Athelstan. And I get it. He's interested in the knowledge and all this, but sometimes it makes you think or feel like Ragnar is forgetting about his people. And just going with this guy and trusting him way too much. I mean, this guy's like a foreigner,
But the thing with Ragnar and Athelstan was he kind of saw that he was part of the future and saw what the British were bringing.
Right.
What they had. And he was like, we need to, as a people, evolve too.
Of course. He just wants better lands and, better farming. But there's a good way to do that. To me, I felt like they were trying to be gay with each other. And I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't, like, even Troy, the movie Troy, you've seen Troy with Brad Pitt. They killed his cousin. And if you read the books, it was actually his lover. So these people back in the day, everything was fine.
Yeah.
But why you're trying to make Athelstan this god of a guy? If they're not, if they like, again, if they were gay, if they loved each other, I'm okay with it. And you know what? That would have fixed the whole problem that I have with it. Because that would explain why Ragnar was so mad at Floki whenever Floki killed.
Well, he explains to Floki, I don't know if you've been that far, where, like, he says, I loved Athelstan, and he said, and I love you.
Yes.
Like, I mean, that's just how they were. It was like that was brotherly to them, was
absolutely.
Just to say, I love you, man.
Absolutely. But to me, it feels like Ragnar never did anything to show Floki, hey, I'm extremely grateful for all of you've done. And to me, the way I see it, Floki did way more than Athelstan. Because Floki, whenever Ragnar had this first idea, like, hey man, I want to build a boat and go out and explore, and the Earl was like, no, you're not doing that. This is my land. This is my kingdom. You're not doing it. Ragnar went behind his back to Floki, and Floki was like, you know what, bro? I got you. I'm going to build you a boat with like a little motor. You know what I mean? And he did it. So, and Floki knew that he could have been killed, and he still did. He risked his neck for Ragnar. And everything Floki has done has been, even killing Athelstan, he did it for Ragnar.
So what's Floki doing right now, where you're at?
Right now, he was and both of his arms were tied to ropes, and he was like in a cave, half naked. And Ragnar came in and took him down, and then he told him, "Hey," or no, his Floki's wife Helga
Hmm.
told Floki, "Hey, our daughter died,"
Yeah.
and that's where he just started screaming, "No!" But
Yeah. So that's where you're at.
yes, and but again, dude, Floki's one of my favorite characters.
He gets weird.
I think they ruined Floki. He was, if you go back to the first couple of seasons, he was so wise, and he always knew.
Oh no, it's going to get back to that, but they are going to put one hell of a twist on it. You're just going to be like, no.
Yeah, and I don't. The thing with Rollo too, man, like this guy, he already betrayed his brother, right?
Mhm.
And now he's doing it again after his brother, basically.
This all comes around, man. You got to stick with it on
Oh
this.
my
Like it all
God.
comes around. I know. Where are you at with Bjorn?
Oh my God, Bjorn! Oh my! Don't even let me. Oh my! I'm gonna have to take a break, dude. This is too much. Too much stress. Bjorn. First of all, his wife. What the hell is her? What's her name?
Can't remember off the top of my head.
Here's. Oh, I was.
Has Bjorn gone into the wilderness yet?
Yes, but let's just go back a little bit. So you have Bjorn's wife. We got to find. Just cut that. We got to find her name.
Okay, Google. Who is Bjorn Ironside's wife in Vikings?
Gunhild. Here's a
Gunhild.
summary from Vikings Wiki, fandom.
What?
Gunhild is a strong shield maiden, Bjorn's wife and the Queen of Cadogan.
Whoa! Spoilers!
Ah!
Ah!
Oh, stop talking.
Stop! Shut up, Google. Anyways, what's her name? What the hell?
Oh no, he has two wives.
Oh. And let's just keep calling her Bjorn's wife.
Oh.
What the? That kind of hurt.
I'm sorry. I was like,
And the queen of shut up.
Just the fact that I was like playing it, and then I watched you look up like this. I'm like, spoilers,
Dude, I'm very sensitive to spoilers. But anyway,
Guess what I got you for your birthday?
oh my
A
God.
spoiler.
Here you go. Happy birthday. Snape dies. Anyways, that was a huge thing, by the way. But anyways,
Oh, what, Snape? You talking about Harry Potter?
yes.
That makes my lady cry every time.
Well, let's finish Vikings and then we can
Okay.
talk about Harry Potter. Bjorn's wife, you have this slave, right? And she finally earns her freedom. So then she wants to fight. Okay, I'm totally cool with that. But I remember that scene whenever Bjorn's like, "Hey, I love you and all this," and she's like, "Fight me." And then they start fighting. It was so cringy though. But they start fighting, and Bjorn finally hits her. She's like, "Uh." And then, anyways, it turns out that she wants to go to war, and she wants to become
Yeah.
a
Yes.
shield maiden,
That
right?
wife. Yes.
Yes. Oh, mother. So, anyways, so she wants to go to war. She goes through this battle, just one battle, I think she goes to,
Mhm.
or maybe two. She gets a little cut on her face.
No, she got like half her face sliced off.
Listen, bro, this was a little cut. And everybody's like, she's not going to make it. And you know what I mean? Okay, it turns out she was pregnant and just getting that little cut, which I don't know what you're thinking, woman. You're going into battle with this crazy man that just live for battle, that they want to die. These people want to die to go to Valhalla. They want to die.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets a cut on her face, and yeah, maybe it hurt. Yeah, I'm not saying it was just maybe a flesh wound, but and then she out of nowhere she leaves her kid. She's like, I don't love you anymore. You should find another woman and all this. And she literally leaves.
Yeah,
Which-
I'll spoil this for you. You don't see her ever again.
Oh my God! So then Bjorn decides, like, you know what? I'm gonna go out into the wilderness, and the whole show, to me, it felt like he was literally like on the next.
By the way, he gets like 9 more wives after that.
Oh my God! But anyways,
You're gonna have a hard time keeping track.
okay, so he goes out into the wilderness, which is just ice cold, deserted place. I don't know where he's at.
Pure badassery.
Yeah,
ensues.
but I don't understand why he's doing all this. I guess he's trying to prove himself, but there's no. it felt like there was no need for this subplot. You know what I mean?
What are you
I
talking
don't
about?
need
Like,
I don't need you to tell me.
Has he come back from the wilderness yet?
No,
Were you
no,
watching?
no,
Oh well,
no.
Have
Well,
you gotten to the bear?
yeah, he killed the
He
bear,
straight murks a bear, with
which
a
was
knife.
a terrible, terrible battle. To be honest with you, I was
Have
like,
you gone to who he had to fight after the bear?
the Berserker? No,
Yeah,
no. I'm waiting on that. But
that's coming.
okay, so
This is all Bjorn trying to prove himself
I
that
know,
he can,
I know,
do
but
it.
it feels like the show is trying to tell you, hey, this guy's a badass, and they're trying to show you that. But I already seen it. I already know he's a badass. You don't have to tell me that. I mean, the guy's name's Bjorn Ironside. I'm not gonna mess
Which
with the
Rollo
guy.
gave him that name too.
Yeah, his uncle. He beat the crap out of his uncle, and on a fist fight. I mean, yeah, his uncle was a little drunk, but
Mhm.
still, his uncle's a big dude.
Yeah, Rollo was kind of a badass there too for a while.
Yeah. What do you mean
'Cause-
was?
Well, like before he was with the Franks, remember where
Okay.
he kind of lost himself and he
Yes.
started rolling around shirtless all the time?
Yes.
That's because he became part of like the Berserkers.
Yes.
Like all those other guys with the wolf hats on.
Mhm.
Like that one dude, like he jumped off the boat and he's like, "Ooh," with the wolf hat on,
Yep.
goes arrow right through the head.
Yep.
And they're just like, they don't care. They were Berserkers.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if this people consumed any type of drugs to be this.
I'm going to go with a lot of mead, a lot of ale, something like that.
That was like medieval crack or something, because they were constantly. I mean, they were on a rush all the time. They were just like zippity zappity. Let's get to battle-y. You know, they wanted to die, and that's one thing I don't. I mean, I admire.
Zabo, let's go to Valhalla.
Let's go to Valhalla and drink some rum. But this people were.
Rum.
I mean, you know,
They're not pirates.
I don't know.
Pirates drink rum. Vikings drink mead and ale.
Am I bad? Jesus Christ.
Okay, wine too. There's wine. I think everybody drank wine back then.
But yeah, dude, that's my. I have a lot of issues with this show, but there's a big but. That sounded horrible. It's such a good show, and the quality of it, I love it. You can see that there's a lot of attention to detail, and the production quality is amazing. All the costume design is great.
Now, how far have you made it into with Ragnar's other kids?
Not very far. I know he's got Ivar, which is like he doesn't have like legs or whatever.
Ivar.
Shut up. Anyways.
Oh.
I like the kid that he tracked down Floki.
Mhm.
To me, that kid's a badass.
Yeah.
But again, this show, the quality of it is very good, and that intro might be one of the best intros I've ever seen in my life. I love it. More, give me more, and I'm just sitting there like, yes, give me more, or you know what, I'll give you more. But
You're just full of double entendres today.
Yes,
Big butts, giving people more. Happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
Think
But-
of the children. I mean,
Think of Hideo, his daddy here.
but speaking of children here, another little segue here I wanted to talk about. With us being hosted here right on YouTube, I was just uploading the third episode.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was doing the upload, there was a notification.
Oh no.
Every video that I've made for this channel, which is so far only these three, you have to now manually punch in whether or not your videos are safe or intended for children.
Oh my God.
Because there was an act in Congress, I guess, for COPPA, standing for the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Now, I was able to go to the channel because I don't intend to market any of this for children.
Right.
And I had to watch the videos on it from YouTube itself. And they said, they're like, by law, definition of a child is anything under 13 years old. And it also can depend on your country. So please consult a lawyer. Like they referenced like 3 or 4 times for you to consult your own personal lawyer, which I was like, oh God, this is where we're going. Okay. So every time I upload a video now, I have to mark whether or not it's intended for children. Obviously not. So once you mark it, there also is going to be using AI to show and send content for people that are watching this channel. So if it's not marketed for children, which it isn't, then it will send them other videos and things that people might want to watch.
Okay.
Okay, I'll deal with that. If we fail to take action on the channel on whether or not this is intended for which audience. You have to select which audience you're intended for. They said if you don't take any action on it, YouTube will automatically take action for you. And it was very vague and kind of creepy. Okay. But yeah, they were like, consult a lawyer. But if you start checking off, like if you're making content for children and you're like a child-friendly channel, like, PG clean, whatever, you can no longer run any ads on your video. No comments. The comments are disabled. You can't put the little cards at the end of the video. You can't add they can't save your video to watch later. You can appeal anything like on this because there already kind of seems like they're anticipating issues in between the algorithm and people manually checking stuff off. Because there's people out there that are going to make kid content, but they still want to get the ad revenue. So
they're just not going to market.
So they're not going to market. But then they're saying if we catch you, and it's in between all the employees that they got sitting on this, on top of the algorithm and the AI, you're looking at losing your channel.
But how can you define? That's very vague though, because okay, let's say I'm a grown man and I love watching songs of a guy singing ABCs. I love that. That's my thing.
But then that's your prerogative as a grown adult to look it up and search it, and then find it. They're not going to block it from you,
right?
Like. You can type in anything you want in YouTube to find it. It's just if you're the creator of that, like if you're that guy singing the ABCs or whatever, and you subscribe to that person's channel, that person, the creator, cannot monetize it with ads.
But okay, but that thing's intended for adults that like that stuff. What do you do now? Like bronies. Or the furries, you know what I mean? I mean, this is a real thing.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's where also like their panacea to it is consult a lawyer. But then there's the entire user guidelines and FAQ section that you're supposed to go through in YouTube. Like they have it all in black and white, but since we're not marketing any of this to kids, like this is a grown adult show, I'm just worried about the other grown adults watching it. Well, guys, it looks like we're all out of time here. This is This Evening Tonight. I am River Sullivan, and with me again, Martin.
Stay safe, stay warm, stay happy.
Yes, it's very cold. Winter is no longer coming. Winter is here.
Oh, it came out of nowhere. But
yeah. It came all over this mountain I'm living on. Mm-hmm. Sounded wrong.
That's
all right, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by, and until next time, peace out.
Bye.